Hoping this works. Got it. Oh,
Perfect.
okay.
Got it.
Bye.
Yay. Thank you. Perfect. Hello. Welcome to a Saturday morning yoga flow. Thank you so much for joining me today on the mat. We're going to get started lying down on our backs today. So just making your way comfortably on your back. We're going to start with putting the bottoms of our feet together, opening our knees out wide. If you have a little block or something you'd like to prop open your chest with here, it might feel really nice just to open the chest a little bit. Or maybe you'd like to bring your arms out by your side or a little bit overhead. So we're just opening the body here, starting to practice with a nice deep breath, breathing into the belly. And a nice slow exhale out, letting it all go. Feeling yourself relax. Feeling any tension wash away. Taking another deep breath. Slow exhale out. Just calming the mind, bringing yourself to this present moment. Just you and your body. Moving, stretching. Feeling everything out, taking your own modifications. Let's go ahead and inhale, straighten legs, straighten arms, and stretch the body nice and long. From here, we're just going to gently walk the heels over to the left corner of the mat, keeping our hips right where we are. We're going to take our hands and also walk them to the left edge of the mat. So we're going to be taking a banana shape here. You could take this right ankle and cross it over the left ankle for a little bit of a deeper stretch. But we're really trying to breathe into that side, the right side body here. We'll inhale, come back through center, and take our banana to the other side, bringing the right ankle to the right. Maybe the left ankle comes over top the right. And we shift our arms over to the right as well. So we're in a banana shape. Breathing into the side body. And then we'll come back through center. This time, bending at the knees, hugging them into the chest. We'll inhale and exhale, come to meet our head to our knees like a ball. Exhale, releasing the head back down. We're just going to open the knees and start drawing some gentle circles. Starting to massage the hips here. Just bringing the knees apart, away from each other in a circular fashion, maybe switching directions here. Perfect. Whenever you're ready, we're going to go ahead and extend the right. Well, let's just go ahead and put both feet on the ground first and just take some windshield wipers, moving knees from one side to the other side. Just welcoming some gentle twist into the body. And then you can go ahead, bring your knees back to point up. You can either leave this right knee bent or straighten it out. We're going to hug the left knee into the chest. First, we're just going to start with pulling that left knee to the left armpit. Kind of just pulling it down by your side, opening it up. Inhale, we're gonna come back through center with the knee. Maybe you just like to take this movement a few times, pulling the knee down to one side, bringing it back to center. It's a nice hip opening, mobility stretch. And then you could go ahead, bringing the knee back through center into your chest. We're gonna straighten the leg all the way up. Our hands come anywhere along the leg, maybe the thigh, the calf, the ankle, or even your toes, if it's accessible to you. And we're just gonna hold here for a moment. Taking a nice deep breath, feeling ourselves relax here. Pulling that leg in towards you, feeling a nice stretch. From here, we're going to take our left hand, grabbing this left foot. We're going to take the foot all the way to our left side, outside, trying to keep the leg straight. If you have to bend it, it's no problem, but just try to keep a straight leg, and then we're gonna try to pull that foot up towards our head. So your leg might be pretty far from you, and that's okay. But if it's really close to you, if you're flexible, you could take the right hand overhead and even try to grab the left toes, coming into a supine bow and arrow. Just take the stretch to your own level, feeling a sensational feeling. Deep breath. We're gonna inhale, come to bring this left foot back through center. And this time we're gonna cross it all the way across the body while opening our arms out to our side, trying to keep both shoulder blades planted. Perfect. We're in a deep spinal twist here. You could stay right here, or if you'd like to take the twist a little bit deeper, you can come into a cat pulling its tail, where you bend this bottom right knee and try to grab the right foot with the left hand. Kind of anchoring your shoulder blade down, opening the chest a little bit more, just making it more of a deeper twist. Breathing into that belly region. Taking a nice deep breath. Slow exhale. See if you could twist just a little bit more. Maybe both shoulder blades plant a little more, the left knee comes over a little bit more. Let's release that back foot if you have it grabbed. We're gonna inhale, bring our body back to center, hugging this knee into the chest. And then we'll exhale, release the left leg all the way down to the ground and hug the right knee into the chest. Let's start with just bringing that knee to our right side. Maybe just holding it here. Or maybe you just like to add some movement, bringing it up and bringing it out to the side. Bringing it back through center now. We're gonna straighten this right leg all the way up, grabbing anywhere along this leg that is comfortable. Flexing the foot is gonna kind of give you a more of an intense stretch. And we're gonna be trying to straighten the leg, but it's really no problem. Take whatever you think feels good for you. We're taking a nice deep breath, allowing that right foot to draw in towards the body. Wonderful. Just feeling yourself relax here. We're gonna go ahead and take our right hand to the outside of the right leg and allow this right leg to come all the way over to the right side. It's okay if it doesn't plant or anything like that. You can just keep it out to the right. Or you could also try to push this leg up towards your head a little bit, up towards your body a little bit more. Just taking a stretch here. And then we're gonna inhale, come back through center. You can keep the leg extended if you like. We're gonna cross this leg all the way over, extending our arms out to a T. We let this leg fall all the way over, bring our gaze over to the right side. We're in a supine twist here, a deep spinal twist. Maybe you just stay here and breathe, or maybe you go deeper, a cat pulling its tail, taking the right hand to meet the left foot. Oh, taking some really deep breaths here. Wonderful. Just another deep breath. And then we'll release that left foot and bring our body back to center once again, hugging the knees into the chest if you'd like. We're gonna just go ahead, take a full happy baby, bringing our arms inside the knees. Our hands come to grab the outsides of the feet as we open those feet out, extending the legs, pulling those knees towards your armpit, towards the ground. Perfect. Try to keep your whole spine planted right now. Try to still stay in tune with that whole spine in your neck. We'll release the legs, bending them and coming back through center. We'll plant the feet. The knees are pointing up. From here, we're going to plant our hands by our side, bringing our feet pretty close to us. We'll maybe even try to see if we can grab or touch the back of our heels. From here, we're going to make sure our shoulders are nice and planted into the ground, and inhale, lift into our bridge pose. So if you can try to grab your heels. You don't have to. You could always just keep your arms by your side. Maybe make a fist under your back, or maybe you even use your hands to support your lower back to help a little bit. We really want to try to push those hips nice and high. You can even feel a little neck stretch, making sure the neck is elongated here. We'll exhale, release it all the way down. Perfect. So that was a nice little engagement there. We're going to go ahead and do this again. And then maybe you'd like to take it to a wheel pose if it's in your practice, but no worries. If it's not, it can be a little bit intense, I'd say. We're once again going to put our hands by our side. We'll inhale, lift our hips up as high as we can. And you can just stay here. Or maybe you try to place your hands right by your ears, your fingertips pointing back towards your toes. So your fingertips are pointing towards you. Elbows up. And all you have to do is press into the hands as you extend the elbows and get a nice heart opening stretch here. You kind of want to push your weight into your hands, and the goal is to really extend the elbows all the way straight. Taking a nice deep breath wherever you are, into the chest, into the belly, holding that breath in for a moment, and then we're going to exhale, slowly come out, releasing first head, shoulders, and then hips all the way back down to the ground. Perfect. Maybe we'll see how that feels a little bit. And then we'll hug knees into the chest once again. We're just going to start gaining some momentum with our knees and feet here. As we start to rock them overhead, for a moment, we're going to try to catch our lower back here, try to bring our shoulder blades together and come into a nice plow pose. You can allow the spine to round if that feels good, or you can try to keep it straight and just allow your knees, feet to fall overhead. Taking a deep breath. And then on the exhale, we're just going to slowly release the hips out of this pose. So nothing too intense. Hopefully it wasn't too much, but slowly releasing the hips down. Our hands come to right underneath our glutes. We're going to bring our legs all the way down. And as we do, we're going to press into the forearms, our elbows, as we pull our chest up and drop our head back in our fish pose. So our fish pose will really keep an open chest here, allowing the head to drop back if it's comfortable. We'll take a nice deep inhale into the heart. On the exhale, we'll gently release the head and the upper body all the way down. The fish pose can be a very intense inversion, so give yourself a moment here, your head, your body. Perfect. And then we'll once again bend at the knees. And we're starting to gain momentum once again. Instead of catching our hips, we're going to let our feet come upward, our body come upward, and then try to catch ourselves in a boat pose, sitting on our sit bones. Our body is in a V position. So we roll it back and we catch ourselves in a boat pose. Just maybe 2 more times, rolling it back, catching yourself in a boat pose, rolling it back, and we're in a boat pose. Perfect. So our body's in a V. You could try to bring your ankles to be in line with your knees if it's comfortable. Inhale, holding it here. We'll go ahead, drop one leg straight to the ground, bring it back up. Drop the left leg straight to the ground, bring it back up. Drop one leg, bring it back up. Another leg, bring it back up. Holding for another moment. Inhale, we open that chest up, really try to straighten through the spine. And then exhale, release the feet forward. Release the feet forward. We're going to bring them right, the bottoms of the feet together into a butterfly pose, allowing the body to fold over the hips, trying to push those knees down to the ground, taking a nice deep breath. See if you can fold just a little bit deeper. Perfect. We're going to inhale, come back up, crossing at the ankles. We'll come to our hands and knees from here. Just gonna real quick check the time. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So from here, we're just gonna bring our big toes together, our big toes together, our knees are apart, and we're gonna exhale, gently sit our hips back onto our heels. Perfect. Let's start with just a deep breath in our child's pose. And then we're going to just start adding some spinal movement. So bringing your awareness to the spine, to the back. We're going to inhale right through the spine as we come forward. And as we exhale, we'll drop the hips down, open the chest up. And we're going to repeat this movement where we'll exhale, draw the hips back into our child's pose. And then slowly round the spine forward, dropping the hips down and opening the chest up into our cobra. Exhale, pushing the hips back. We lead with the hips as we come back into our child's pose, rounding the spine once you sit all the way back. And then rounding the spine as you inhale, push the hips forward, until they come all the way down and we open the chest into our cobra pose. Let's do it one more time, leading with the hips as we go all the way back into our child's pose. Inhale, we'll come forward. with the hips. You can even add a little bit of movement here if you like. We're gonna fall all the way down into our cobra pose. And here we stay, finding a nice positioning with our hands. And our shoulder blades are falling away from our ears, drawing together. We open our chest, maybe gaze up a little bit. From here, we're going to just dip to our left hip and look over our right shoulder. From here, you can dip a little bit more, kind of coming onto the left hip. We're going to take this top right leg, bend it, and place the knee right behind the left. Place the foot right behind the left knee. From here, we'll inhale, press into the foot as we open into our wild thing. We're opening our chest, kind of doing a gentle back bend here. And then we'll exhale, release the hips back down and come back to our cobra pose. Exhale, let's just release the chest down. Perfect. We'll do it again, keeping your hands right under your shoulders. We're inhale, press up into our cobra pose, extending those elbows. And then we'll go ahead, look to gaze over the left shoulder, and then even dip the hip so that the left hip comes on top of the right. And then whenever you're ready, that top left foot comes right behind the right one, and we press into our wild thing pose. Really reaching that arm over. And exhale, we release it back down. Coming back to a cobra position. We'll exhale, release the chest down. From here, we're going to interlace our hands in a fist behind our back. And then we're going to inhale, pull the fist back as we pull open the chest. Holding this for a moment, it feels so good for opening the chest, for strengthening the back. And exhale, we release it back down. Planting the hands right under the shoulders. Once again, we're going to exhale, push our hips all the way back down to our child's pose. Instead of settling in though, we're going to go ahead, tuck the back toes, and start straightening the legs, lifting the hips high into our downward facing dog. Let's just settle into this down dog. Maybe pedaling the feet out. Trying to lift those hips high as those heels come towards the ground. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly here. And exhale, release it all out. Wonderful. Let's start with a few half sun salutations. We'll inhale, come into a plank position. Extend through the head, extend through the heels. On the exhale, we'll drop our knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling, we'll pull the chest forward and up into our cobra position. And on the exhale, we'll tuck the back toes, lift the hips, and come into our downward dog once again. That was so nice. Let's do it again. Inhale, we'll come into a plank position, engaging that core. Exhale, we'll drop our knees, chest and chin to the mat, keeping those elbows tucked into the side. Inhale, we'll open through the chest. And exhale, we'll push back to our downward facing dog. Wonderful. From here, whenever you feel ready, we're just going to walk our feet to our hands and take our dangling pose. Feet hip distance apart, allowing the upper body to completely hang here. Be heavy. Maybe you like to sway a little bit just to get a little extra tension out of the upper body. Really be heavy here. Taking a deep breath, feel yourself hang even deeper. On the next inhale, we're going to straighten through the legs, halfway lift through the spine. And on the exhale, we'll fold deeper into a forward fold. Maybe this time you try to keep the knees straight if it's accessible. On the inhale, we'll gently bend the knees, round all the way up to standing. Inhale, reaching arms over. And then we'll exhale, bring our hands to the heart center. Taking a nice deep breath, just release the arms, kind of release the body, maybe sway it, shake it out a little bit, just letting any tension wash away. Knowing not to keep too tense even throughout the practice. You know, no poses have to be perfect, look perfect, and be at ease. Let's go through a sun salutation just to warm the body, say hello to the sun. Maybe I'll face this way for this. We're gonna inhale, reach our arms nice and long. Feeling your feet grounded here, hip distance apart, reaching. And on the exhale, we'll fold from the hips and take a forward fold. Engaging those legs as you fold to help you go even deeper. And then we're gonna inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take a fold, plant the hands, we'll step it back to our plank. Inhaling, exhaling, maybe you take knee, chest, chin, 8 limb, or maybe you just take your chaturanga push-up. Inhale, we'll open the chest into cobra or upward facing dog if your thighs are lifted. And then we'll exhale, move the hips back to our downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. And then on your next inhale, lifting the heels, bending the knees, stepping or floating your way to your hands. We'll exhale, release into a forward fold. Beautiful. Inhaling, bring ourselves all the way up to standing. Reaching our arms over. Exhale, releasing hands to your side. Wonderful. From here, we're going to just do a little flow. We'll inhale, reach our arm. Well, let's just go right into our tree pose. Actually, we're gonna shift our weight onto our left foot. Inhale, we'll reach our right knee up and place that right foot on the inside of our left thigh. Or it can be anywhere. It could be at your ankle, your toe staying grounded. It could be at your shin. We just want to try to avoid the knee joint. So we're in our tree pose. Maybe that right foot's on the inside of your thigh. And we're really squeezing everything together, standing nice and tall. Taking a breath here. And then we're going to inhale, bring this knee forward and up. And then on the exhale, we'll push the leg back as our body comes parallel to the ground. We're trying to come into our warrior 3, trying to keep those hips square, our legs straight. We'll release the hands to the ground now. We're going to keep this left hand planted right under the shoulder as we stack the left hips, flex those back toes, and see about trying to lift this left hand up to the sky. For our half moon pose, it can be a little bit challenging. Just try your best. And then from half moon, we're going to ground this back foot and sweep the arms up into our warrior 2. So you'll notice that the back foot is pointing to the long side of the mat. The front toes are pointing towards the short edge of the mat. We're in our warrior 2, bringing our gaze over our front fingertips, trying to get low with that front knee. Perfect. Well, we'll sink a little bit deeper into this warrior 2. Drop this right hand down the back leg. We'll sweep the left arm overhead to peaceful warrior, and then sweep the arm forward, the left elbow coming to the right knee. Right arm reaches overhead into our side angle pose. Perfect. We're going to go ahead and plant our hands inside this left foot. And then we're going to turn these left toes to point upwards, or the right toes and knees to point upwards as we sit our hips down into our Skandasana pose. Perfect. And then we'll keeping the hands planted, we're just gonna pivot now so our toes point downward. We're facing now into our lizard pose where our hands are inside this left foot. Our back knee is as far back as we can, as feels comfortable as you'd like to take the stretch. You can just stay here in a lizard stretch, or maybe you'd like to let this left foot roll onto its left side, pushing this left knee gently away from you, and seeing if you can bend that right back foot and try to twist and grab it with your left hand. Seeing what you could do, seeing if you could bring that foot in towards you for a deeper stretch. And then we'll go ahead, release that back foot, come back through center. We're gonna heel toe the foot to be inside the hands now. And then we're gonna inhale, reach the arms up to the sky into our low lunge, keeping that front knee stacked over the ankle. We'll exhale, release down, plant the hands, and push the hips back, straightening the left leg into our half split. Exhale, releasing the body over the extended leg. We'll inhale, come forward, sweep the arms once again up into our low lunge. Exhale, plant the hands, push the hips back into a half split. Inhale, we'll come forward once again, reach our arms up into a low lunge. And once more, we exhale, release the hands, push the hips back. Take a nice half split pose. Exhale, releasing into a fold here. And then bending, tucking the back toes behind you. We'll just hold this for a moment, really release tension. And when you're ready, you can tuck the back toes behind you, straighten through this back leg. We're coming into a pyramid pose here. We're just gonna hop this back foot in a little bit and just exhale, release into a fold. So we're in a pyramid pose, and it often just helps to have that back foot closer to you. Perfect. From here, we're gonna try to keep the back toes and the hands planted, and we're just gonna try to press into the ground as we sweep this left leg back and up into our three-legged dog. Trying to square those hips to the ground to really get a good stretch here. And then we'll exhale, release this foot into our downward facing dog. Inhaling, we'll come into a plank. Exhale, we'll lower ourselves to the ground. Taking a flow, inhale, opening the chest. And exhale, pushing the hips back to our downward dog. Inhaling, we'll lift the heels, bend the knees, and step it or hop it to the top, releasing into a forward fold. Before inhaling, rolling your way all the way up to standing, arms coming overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Perfect. Let's go ahead and take this on the other side. Our weight coming into our right foot. We're going to take our left foot into our tree pose, whether it be the foot grounded at your ankle, along your shin, or all the way up to the inside of the thigh. We bring our hands to prayer if that feels good for you, and just squeeze everything together, standing nice and tall. Those shoulders falling away from the ears. We'll inhale, release this foot knee in front of us, pulling it towards the chest. And then we'll exhale, push this leg back into our warrior three, coming to be parallel, coming to a T. Just try your best. And then plant the hands. We're gonna this time keep the right hand planted under the right shoulder. As we try to stack the hips, we flex that back left toe and try to reach this left arm up to the sky. We're in our half moon pose. From here, we're gonna bend this bottom leg and try to plant this back foot into our warrior 2 feet. So the toes are facing the long side of the mat, the front toes are facing the short side. And we cartwheel the arms up into our warrior 2. Feel free to adjust yourself here. We really want to bend that front knee deep over that ankle. Arms come to a T. And we try to bring our gaze focused over those front middle fingers. Holding here for a moment, you'll feel a lot of engagement, hopefully a little bit of an opening of a hip. We'll exhale, release the left hand down the back, right arm reaches overhead. And then we're gonna swing forward, the right elbow comes to the right knee as the left arm goes overhead, stacking those shoulders. Side angle. And then we're gonna go ahead, allow our hands to fall inside our leg. We're bending more through this front knee as we pivot the left knee and left toes to point up and sit the hips down into our Skandasana pose. Just trying your best here in our Skandasana to really open that left hip up. And then planting the hands in front of you, we're going to pivot to face forward once again. We'll already be in our lizard pose, hands inside that right knee. We're going to just drop that back knee to the ground. You can stay here, or maybe you like to allow your right foot to roll onto its outer edge, gently pushing that right knee away from you. You can also come low. You can also take a twist, trying to bend this back left knee, twisting and grabbing the foot with your hand, pulling it in towards your body. And then we'll exhale, come back through center, heel toeing this frame to be framed by your hand, so it's inside of your hands in between. We're gonna inhale, reach our arms all the way up into a low lunge. Exhale, release the hands, push the hips back straight into a half split. Just taking this movement a bit more, we'll come forward, reach the arms all the way up into a low lunge. Exhale, release it down, push the hips back, straighten the leg. Folding. Inhale, come forward, reach the arms up, low lunge. And exhale one more time, we'll push the hips back. Just taking a moment here, really releasing that hamstring. And then we'll go ahead, tuck the back toes straight in through the back leg. And we're in our pyramid pose here. You can jump the back foot in just a little bit more if it helps you to fold deeper. Keeping the hands planted, the back left toes planted. We're gonna press as we sweep this right leg up and back into our three-legged dog. Keeping those hips square to the ground. Get a nice stretch. And then we'll exhale, release it down into our downward facing dog. Let's take a nice deep cleansing breath here, breathing deep into the belly. And exhale, letting it all go. Maybe you even make a sound while you're at it. Whenever you're ready, we're going to lift the heels, bend the knees. And as we float forward, we're just going to come to a seated position here. Perfect. Turning to face the long side of the mat, we're just going to open our knees, our legs out into our dragonfly here. So maybe even just like this, we want to make sure our knees are pointed up, toes pointed up. Maybe they're flexed for a little extra stretch, up to you. And if you just sit nice and tall here, maybe you already can feel sensation, and right here is just enough. Or you can always inhale, sit tall, and exhale. Drop the body forward to go a little bit deeper. We're just going to hold this posture for a few breaths. Allowing the fascia to really loosen up. Just relax here, relax. Find a comfortable yet sensational position. Taking another deep breath, pulling that breath deep into the belly. Bringing it up through the ribs or through the chest. And a slow exhale out. We're going to inhale, come back up, taking our hands right under our knees and gently bending them in towards each other. Perfect. We're going to just plant our feet on the ground here, planting our hands right behind us. We'll sway our knees side to side, taking little window wipers. Perfect. We're coming to the end of the practice here. So if you have any other postures you'd like to take today, be a great time to go ahead and do it. Otherwise, you can come to sit in a nice, easy seated pose with me. We're just going to come to close our eyes for a moment, maybe let the gaze soften. Taking a nice deep breath, a nice deep inhale into the belly. Just feeling your spine lengthen, that crown of the head reaching tall. On the exhale, feeling your shoulders fall away from the ears, feeling any tension in your forehead, eyebrows, jaw fall away. Just relaxing. Bringing our awareness to the breath. We'll inhale, take a nice deep breath into the belly. Once again, pulling the air up to the ribs and up into the chest. Maybe you could see about holding the breath in just for a little moment. And at your own time, when you feel ready, as you release the breath, slowly letting all the air go, pushing all of the air out at the end. And maybe retain this no breath here for a moment or two as well. Wonderful. We'll do one more breath here together. Inhale, reaching our arms overhead. And exhale, bringing your hands down to prayer, bowing to yourself, to your beautiful practice in person. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was such an honor, and I hope to flow with you all again. Namaste. Thank you, thank you. Such a nice day out today. Perfect. Let's see. I was just chatting you because I just finished. Oh,